Hello, boys and girls. My name is Mr. Buff, and I teach diesel technology at the Schuylkill Technology Center. I'm glad to be here with you with the Summer of Explorers. Our school has 21 programs for our students in the career and trade areas. I teach diesel technology, one of the most popular programs out of the 21 programs. Our programs are always filled with students. We have a lot of students out working. We have students that are enjoying working with their hands, working with their minds. Diesel technology is a great career to be in because there's many opportunities which we're going to be talking about. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have another video we're going to be watching. We're going to be doing some Zoom meetings, and we're going to be having some fun. We're going to be talking about careers today. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the different kind of commercial vehicles. Next time, we'll talk about the history of the diesel engine, the history of trucking, and a little bit about diesel engines and how they operate. So it will be fun. You will learn a lot, and I hope you get a lot out of this into what you want to do when you start thinking about coming into our school. Our classes begin as 9th graders, and we go all the way up to 12th grade. We go from 9th to 12th grade. We also have a program, which is a co-op program, where students in their senior year can go out and work. And that's if they earn the credits that they've earned the past 3 years. I right now actually have 8 students out working, learning, earning money. Okay, so it's a very popular program. We're going to talk about the Summer of Explorers, and we're going to learn about diesel careers and more. I've been involved with the Summer of Explorers for a few years and have many students that came to me as 4th and 5th, 6th graders, and I have them in my class right now. I have a couple of students that came as 5th and 6th graders and decided at that time that they loved the diesel program. And right now, they're out working, they're enjoying their lives. And I think that's what it's all about, is to get a job that you enjoy, that you can use your hands, you can use your mind. And the diesel technology field is very vast, and there's a lot of different avenues that you can go. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit about today, is the diesel careers and what kinds of trucks there are, right? So let's move on. Commercial vehicles, which includes all types of trucks, from light trucks to big trucks to heavy trucks. They perform a variety of functions. Trucking is a big economy, and if it wasn't for trucking, the world would come to an end, because there is no other way to get enough goods delivered to people that need it. Okay, skilled technicians keep the trucks on the road, and most importantly, they keep them safe, efficient, and reliable. There's many types of careers in the diesel industry. Okay, when people think of the diesels, they think of just big trucks. There's more to big trucks than meets the eye. There's small trucks, light trucks, there's medium trucks, there's heavy trucks, there's buses, trailers. We'll talk about all the different kinds of trucks that there are. But that leads to the idea that there is so many jobs in the diesel field that you can choose from, due to the fact that there are so many different varieties of things you can do. Okay, they call a technician a man or woman that works on vehicles. Okay, the old days, they used to call them a mechanic, and they used to work with wrenches. Today, a technician works with their hands, they work with their minds, they work with computers. It doesn't matter if you're male, if you're female. I have many students working in the field that are male and are female. I have students that are out that are doing computer work on vehicles, and they're making up to $34 an hour. So it's a very vast field, and there's a lot of different opportunities. The types of careers that technicians can be employed by are new truck and trailer dealerships, garages, commercial fleets, specialty shops, buses, service centers, vehicle manufacturers, and more. New truck dealerships are where they sell the newer trucks and they do warranty work on trucks. They are good paying jobs. They're usually specialized jobs where you're working on one brand of vehicle. An example is a Peterbilt dealership or a Mack dealership. Okay, there's a difference between a small shop and a big shop. And this is a good thing to get in your minds right now, that you have so many different avenues when you get into the diesel field. Okay, many different avenues. In our area, there's a lot of commercial fleets. Okay, commercial fleets are places such as Walmart, Penske. There is hundreds of commercial fleets where you live in the Schuylkill County area and the surrounding area. Big distribution centers have lots of trucks. Walmart distribution center in High Ridge has over 250 trucks and over 400 trailers. They have a very large garage, and I have 2 students that are working at Walmart right now, and it is a very, very good job. It is a lifetime job, and they're enjoying it. They're enjoying their job, and they're making good money. There's specialty repair shops which take care of different types of subcomponents, engines, transmissions, and so on. There's also transit companies, bus companies, and we're talking about coach buses, big buses, school buses, and mini buses. There's also, today, there's a lot of vehicles that are automobiles that have diesel engines in them. There's about 30% of the vehicles made today are diesel powered vehicles that are used by normal commuters. Why? Because diesel fuel is very efficient and the diesel engine lasts a lot longer. So there's a lot of jobs in the area of automotive diesel. There's also service centers and service shops which are independent, which are scattered around the areas. Place called pilot truck centers and places like that, where they actually teach, actually work with different types of vehicles. That type of industry, you will be working on all types of vehicles. You will be doing all types of repairs. So it all depends on what you want to do. You can work on tire shops. You can work at a coal company. There's many different avenues that you can take when you enter the diesel field. Not only is it fun and enjoyable, but you have many, many choices. Technician, what does a technician do every day? Technician normally performs testing, repairs, road testing, replacing, adjusting. There's many different avenues of what you're going to do it depends on different types of places that you work. As we look back at that last slide, a technician that works in a dealership will be doing more sophisticated repairs and computer work than somebody that will be working in a repair shop that is owned by maybe a family business or such. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways you're going to be working on, different things you're going to be working on. An example is I have some students that come to my class, and they're happy with just going to a tire shop and working on changing tires, big truck tires. It's a tough job, but it's a good job, but that's what they like to do. I have other students that stay longer or go on to post-secondary school and end up learning more about computer diagnostics and work more with computers. And every day when a truck comes in, they put a computer on a truck to find out what's wrong with it. Okay, that's what we work with today. So there's a lot to the diesel field and a lot of different things that the technician will be doing. You perform inspections and perform maintenance service recommendations to customers, completing work orders, reviewing work orders. So it's very important that you not only have a good knowledge of the diesel field and the components on the vehicle, but also to have good writing skills, to have good customer skills, to be able to talk to customers. Because you have to ask them things about what's wrong with their truck. If you're working in a dealership, you have to do a lot of paperwork. If you work in a place where you do state inspections, you have to inspect that vehicle, which includes a lot of paperwork of writing and doing things like that. So there is a lot to being a diesel technician than meets the eye. It's not the old days where you were called a mechanic, where you just used to jump in and use wrenches. Today, it's a whole different story. There's a lot of things going on with safety. If a truck goes out and is unsafe, that's a very dangerous situation. So you're performing a real vital function, and that's why technicians make a lot of money and take a lot of pride in what they do. Job classifications. Different ratings, different types of jobs, and again, it's up to you what you want to do. You can go from cleaning vehicles to pick up, delivery, assisting technicians, which some of you hopefully will be doing when you come to our school. When you'll start out, if you go out on co-op, you'll learn from other technicians. You'll be trained from other technicians. You can move up to being managers, service managers. If you like to sell, you can sell trucks. You could be a technical support advisor. You can also become a teacher. There's many, many ways that you can get into the diesel field and pick and choose what you like to do. You can also get into the armed services, where they will pay you to learn how to work on the vehicles that they have in their industry. So there's a lot of different ways and different things to learn, different job classifications, and I'm just touching on a few of them right now, but there are many, many. It's such a wide range of jobs that's at your fingertips if you would like to take advantage of it. Service technicians, they are normally the type that are working in dealerships, Peterbilt dealerships, Mack dealerships. They are trained more. They need to be trained more due to warranty reasons. If a truck is broken, they need to fix it fast, and they need to get that truck right out on the road in a certain amount of time. They have exposure to the most recent technological developments. Many require college program or post-secondary school. Okay, many programs are in partnership with truck manufacturers. Right now, our program is involved with Universal Technical Institute, Penn College of Technology, and many other post-secondary schools that you have the option to go to. And there are many, many different types of grants and scholarships available right out of our program. So we provide many avenues for you to enjoy a great career as a service technician or any type of diesel field you want to get into. Service technicians do complete trade-related courses such as ours at our Career Center, and you receive a certificate. We also offer certifications. Automotive Service Excellence Certification is a certification entity that proves the skills that you have learned, and which each certification you'll receive more money from different companies. There's a picture of a typical shop tools, and naturally you need tools. The little drawback when you're a diesel technician or automotive technician, you need to have your tools, and technicians take pride in their tools. They love their tools. A toolbox can cost $15,000. But today, because there is such a need for diesel technicians, there's many places, many employers that will actually give you a tool allowance and will pay for part of the tools or all of the tools that you buy. Specialty technicians, we're talking about specializing in electronics, specializing in engines, brakes, hybrid vehicles, which are a combination of electric and diesel or electric and gasoline vehicles, school bus or transit buses. These are all different specialty technicians. And the more specialties you have, the more money you're going to make, the more fun you're going to have, because it's fun to work on a lot of different things. In the diesel field, you're not always working on the same thing. Something new comes in every day, and it can be very, very fulfilling, very, very enjoyable. Let's talk about the different categories, configurations of what we got, and what kind of trucks you will be, trucks and vehicles you will be working on. All right, these are the categories and configurations of our commercial vehicles. You got medium-sized delivery vehicles, which you see every day, all over. All over you see trucks on the interstate, in the cities, delivering meat, delivering foods, delivering supplies, all kinds of supplies in medium-sized vehicles. And they are the in-between between a light-duty pickup truck and a big semi-truck. There's ambulances, fire rescue vehicles. There's also highway and semi-trailers, which you see every day on the highway. You see gravel haulers. We're in the coal industry region where there's a lot of coal haulers and trucks they call triaxles, which haul around a lot of coal that need to be worked on. Fuel tankers, utility trucks used to fix the vehicles, right? Or used in the commercial or construction industries. And again, as we talked about before, the highway coaches and the urban transit buses. There's many different types of vehicles out there that you have a choice to work on. Talk about the vocational applications. And these are pickup and delivery vehicles, which you see everywhere. You see drop bed auto haulers, as you see in that picture. There's moving vans. Another aspect of the diesel industry is refrigerated trucks. If you get into working on medium and heavy trucks, delivery trucks, and some of the bigger trucks, a lot of them will have what they call reefer units or refrigerated units. And that's a specialty all in itself. So if you can learn to work on the trucks and then learn to work on the refrigerated part of the vehicle, which we do in our 4th year. We offer Section 609 training, which is air conditioning and refrigeration. It adds a whole new dimension to your employment aspects. So you're ready to go out and work on the truck and then also work on the refrigerated part of the truck. Could you imagine how useful you are when you can work on a truck and you can also work on that refrigerated part of that truck? When an employer has a truck that has over $100,000 or $200,000 worth of food or ice cream or something in that vehicle, if that refrigeration unit stops working, they can lose a lot of money. So if you are able to get that truck running, you become a very valuable employee. And refrigeration technicians are very valuable, and they're making really, really, really good money. I have a student that works up at Walmart Distribution Center up at High Ridge, and he works specifically on the refrigeration trucks, and he is up in $30 to $40 range an hour, and he loves his job. There are also beverage trucks, municipal trucks. There's also flatbed trucks, newspaper delivery trucks, tow trucks, and wreckers that are used to pull around the trucks that are broken. Also, again, pickup and delivery, construction, fire service, heavy haul trucks, inner city coaches, line haul, which means trucks that run all across the country. You can see logging trucks, mining trucks, garbage trucks. Another very important job that if wasn't done would really cause a problem. So these refuse trucks need to run. And the money that they're offering people to work on the refuse trucks is really, really great. Rescue vehicles, school bus vehicles, urban transit coaches. What they have all in common here are they're very, very important. Every vehicle here is very important, and if they stop working, then somebody has a problem. Okay, so it's very important to be able to be trained and to know what you're doing to be able to work on these vehicles. And that's why the money is there for students who want to get into the diesel field. We're looking at some construction vehicles here, okay, commercial vehicles. Asphalt and gravel trucks, we talked about dump trucks, flatbed trucks, tank trucks, landscape, concrete mixers, and snowplows. All of these construction vehicles are very vital. As you can see in the summertime, anywhere you go, you'll see construction vehicles all over the road. Somebody has to fix those vehicles. Somebody keeps those trucks running. And hopefully that would be one of you. Okay, you also got fire service trucks. Okay, another very, very important aspect. It's important that these vehicles, when they're needed, that they can be put into service fast. So when it comes to working on fire service trucks, it takes a very, very trained individual to be able to keep these trucks safe and ready to go. Any type of ladder truck or fire truck or pumper and ambulance are, as you probably all know, when they have to get somewhere, they have to get somewhere quick, fast, and in a hurry. and there is no delaying. Them trucks have to be able to start, they have to be able to run, they have to be able to get where they're going and operate everything. When it comes to a fire truck, to be trained on a fire truck, there is probably over 100 subsystems on a fire truck that you need to learn, from the engine itself to the hydraulics that make the water work, and to the pumps and all kinds of different subsystems on them, on these vehicles. There's people that specialize just in aerial ladders and ambulance and paramedic vehicles, which is another aspect of the diesel field. There's also big heavy equipment, oversized loads, heavy haul. Some of these vehicles can haul over 150 to 200,000 pounds. As you can see, the truck has more wheels on it, and that means the more wheels it has on it, the more it can carry. And the more it can carry, the more brake systems it has to have on it. So there's more to working on one of these vehicles than meets the eye. Okay, you'd have to imagine if a truck like that had a problem and couldn't stop, there could be a really big problem. So we need to be trained and certified in this field to work on these vehicles. Also, we're going to look again at intercity coaches, tour buses, cross-country buses, and we can talk about school buses. There's a lot of companies in our area that run tour buses. I have a student that, two students actually from Tamaqua School District, that are on co-op that work at a company that has tour buses. And these buses run from New York to all over the country, taking people around on trips. And they're very sophisticated, and they cost in between $200,000 to $400,000. They have in them over 500 miles of wiring. So it takes a very sharp individual to work on these vehicles. And in fact, our students that are working there are being trained by other technicians on working on these vehicles, and they're also being sent out to the company that makes them to learn how to work on them. So they're getting free training. So it's another opportunity that in the diesel field that's always offered, and that is a lot of free training, because there's such a big need for diesel technicians that they need to offer something to somebody, and that is the free training. I always call the diesel field the college that you don't have to attend, because most of our employers that we work with, that our students go to work for, are sent out for training, and which is free, and they get their own education. Our co-op program also is an education directed program. When our students are out working on the co-op program, they're actually working and earning money, but they're also learning. Okay, they're being trained. So when they're finished, they already have the training they need. So they do not have to go to another school if they don't want to. So the diesel field is very, very broad and has very many great things to it. Let's look at line haul. Now, line haul is actually trucks that go down the road and usually are on the interstate. Okay, they haul general freight. They're straight tractor trailer configurations. They could be refrigerated. Also livestock trucks, tractor trailers, flatbeds, side curtains. Again, this is a very, very important industry that you're working in, because you're working on livestock trailers. You know, livestock they can't be in the truck for a very long time. When they're being moved from place to place, they have to be kept cool, all right? They have to have water. If them trucks break down, they're in big trouble. So you have a lot of responsibility when you're going out to fix one of these trucks, or when you're maintaining these trucks, so you make sure you keep them safe and keep them on the road where they belong, so they can get to where they're going safely. Let's look at a mining truck. This is a triaxle truck. This is what you see all over Schuylkill County. You see a lot of triaxle trucks. This truck right here is actually not a triaxle. This one actually has 4. That means it can carry more weight. Normally you have two axles, one axle in the front, and you have three in the back. Okay, that's normally what you see. As you can see, these ones are up in the air. When they don't have a lot of weight in the truck, they can lift this wheel up in the air so that they don't have to use it and waste fuel. Okay, if they fill up the back of the truck, they need to put these wheels down because every axle has to have a braking system on it. So the bottom line is the more wheels, the more brakes, the more weight you can carry. And mining trucks, even though they're not as long as a tractor trailer, can normally carry more weight in them than a tractor trailer. And they usually do because they're hauling some heavy stuff in the back, whether it be rock, dirt, and things like that. A lot of companies around the Schuylkill County area have triaxles. I have students that are working specifically on triaxles. They love working on triaxles. And we actually have one in our shop right now that we are working on for a family that owns triaxle trucks. As we talked about before, there's refuse collection, front, rear, side loading garbage trucks. There's a lot of electronics. When you think of a garbage truck, you just think of a man standing in back throwing garbage in it. That's not the way it is today. Today, I don't know if you ever saw a garbage truck pull up and pick up your recyclables and pick up your garbage. They have little arms on the side that are actuated electronically and hydraulically. There's one driver in the truck, and when he pulls up to that garbage, the arms come out. They're operated through laser. They actually pick the garbage. The arms pick the garbage up, put it in the back, and put the containers back down. The driver does not have to get out of the vehicle. And that's really great for the driver because it makes for more comfort. He don't have to touch any of the garbage, but it makes it tough for the technician because the technician is working on a truck that has all electronics and all hydraulics. There's thousands and thousands of wires and computer programs on these vehicles, lasers, sensors that are used for that specific application. There's also sort trucks and septic trucks and vacuum trucks, liquid waste haulers that can haul anything from septic waste to milk to any kind of liquids. So there's a lot of applications when it comes to vocational vehicles. We're back to our rescue vehicles, tanks, trucks, pumpers, rapid intervention vehicles, all different kind of emergency vehicles. That is a specialty. There's a place in Tamaqua where they actually build fire engines, and I have a student working down there, and he helps to build some of these specific fire engines. They have KME fire engines, and he loves his job because they build them from scratch, right from the bottom up. They put all the wiring in the trucks. They put all the pumping equipment. And there's so many different varieties of them, different colors, different brands, and different sizes. So it's another industry, which is an industry within itself. Back to our school buses and our coach buses. Again, that's another subsystem of our diesel industry, and there is a lot to working on. Working on a school bus takes a special certification. Not any normal trucking garage can work on a school bus because it's transporting students. You have to have a special certification, and special certifications equal more money. Okay, so you have the safety of all those students and people at your hands. So you're working on that bus so you can keep that bus operating safely, efficiently, and so it can get to and from where it's got to go. But again, it's another certification, and it's another branch off of our diesel field. Let's look at some of the factors and some of the things that are on trucks. There's our chassis, there's our frame and our frame rails. That's the backbone of the truck. And as you can see on this truck, it doesn't look very easy. There is a lot of subsystems and a lot of components on this truck to work on. So it takes a lot of training to work on trucks. It's not the old days anymore where anybody could just learn how to work on them themselves. When I was a young man, I learned how to work on trucks basically by myself, but it took many years. There wasn't as many training opportunities as there is today. Now you can be trained on any of these subsystems. There's a lot of online programs where you can start at any age you want, which we're going to talk about when we have our Zoom meeting about the different opportunities where you can start learning about trucks and some of the components on the trucks before you even come to our school. Engines, talk about a diesel engine. Diesel engines are right now one of the most efficient engines that are being used. Other than electric, diesel engine, although diesel fuel cost a little bit more than a gasoline engine vehicle, diesel engines have more output per gallon because of the way the petroleum is made. It has a higher torque. That's why it's used. It makes the engine can pull more, and they also last a lot longer. A lot of people ask me, why does a diesel engine last a lot longer? Tractor trailers, big trucks can normally get 500 to 600 and sometimes 1,000,000 miles on their engines before they need to be rebuilt. A normal car engine, 200,000 is probably around the maximum of what they get out of them, and even less than that because they're just not made for it. But the biggest thing with the diesel engine is because diesel fuel is a lubricant. Gasoline is not a lubricant. Diesel fuel, when it is made, there's lubricants added to it. So when the engine's running, it's always lubricated a lot more than a gasoline engine would. So if you didn't learn anything today, you learned about diesel fuel, and you know it's a lubricant. Okay, and that's why diesel trucks last a lot longer. They also put out a lot more horsepower. That doesn't mean they can go faster. It means they can pull a lot more weight. There's a typical truck and your basic subsystems. Your engine, your transmission, your clutch, which is made to disconnect the engine from the transmission when you need to disconnect it when you're stopped at a light. Your transmission, which takes the flow back to the wheels. You have a drive shaft that helps turn the wheel, and you have your what's called a differential. They call it a differential because each wheel turns at a different speed. When you go around the turn, one wheel has to turn slower than another, or you would actually break this differential. So that's what the differential means, different speeds. There's different applications. If you're looking at this is actually the triaxle. You have 3 axles in the back. Okay, they normally don't count the front axle. They say triaxle because you have 1, 2, 3 axles. Okay, this is a normal truck, tractor application, which normally has 10 wheels. Okay, hence when you put a trailer to it, they have 8 more in the back, so you got 10 and 12, so you have an 18-wheeler. Here's a picture of a truck right here, which you probably don't see much anymore. These are called conventional trucks because they have regular front hoods where you can open and look at the engine. It looks designed almost like a car. Back in the older days, they had what's called a COE, or a cab over the engine. This is the cab of the truck, and the engine is underneath where the driver sits. They were very, very good, very nice design for the person that was working on them because this cab would tilt up, and then you had access to the whole engine. They just stopped making cab over trucks because they actually were very dangerous because the truck driver was sitting very close to the windshield. So they were phased out, and you won't see many of those around anymore. Other kind of equipment that you'll see on vehicles, fuel tanks, exhaust, batteries. These are all things that you're going to see on trucks and things that we're going to talk about when we do our Zoom meetings. We're going to talk about some of the things that are on trucks. When we had our in-class Summer of Explorers, we used to have a little test where we used to have fun and see who can name the most parts on a truck. And maybe we'll do something like that so we can have a little bit of fun when we're doing our Zoom meeting. So this is the end of the slideshow. I want to thank everybody for coming and listening to our first video. And we are going to move into next time diesel engines and the history of diesel engines. So I'd like to thank you for coming and look forward to seeing you on our Zoom meeting. Have a good day.